So hey everyone, and in this video we are going to learn about HTML. So in this complete video I'm gonna take you to the basics of HTML and some intermediate concepts which is going to help you a lot in MERN-Stack. So I'm gonna assume that you have some knowledge of HTML, but even if you don't have any knowledge of HTML, you can watch this video because MERN-Stack actually requires knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we would be covering all these three important part of all these three so that it would be beneficial for you all to use them in your MERN-Stack journey. Okay, so let's begin. So what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the standard markup language used to create and design documents on the World Wide Web. Whatever websites you design are actually created using HTML. Okay, whatever website you visit on your browser are actually created using HTML. So it is the foundation of web development and is essential for creating web pages. HTML documents are composed of HTML elements which are defined by tags. These tags structure the content and provide a framework for how the content should be displayed in the web browser. Example of a tag is, for example, you want to show a heading. So for that we have heading tags. Similarly, you want to show a paragraph. For that we have the paragraph tags. Similarly, you want to show an image. For that we have the img tag. Similarly, for showing a complete box which contains multiple tags, you can actually use the div tag. For showing a table, you can use the table tag. For showing a form, you can use the form tag. So we have a different amount of tags, and trust me, it would take a lot of time to learn each of them, but I would tell you some important ones today. Okay, so now first of all I would like to start the coding part just now, but before that we have to make some installations. So let's do it. So guys, first prerequisite is for starting this video, your VS Code must be installed. Okay, so for that what you can do is you can simply go to your browser and search for VS Code. So you can simply go here and you can download it. I have created a dedicated video for installation of video. You can watch that video and you would take the reference from that, how to install VS Code, and then we are good to go. Okay, so just download it and you can follow that video. And if you don't want to follow that video, you can simply download this, and then while installing the setup, just like a normal computer game, just install this like a normal computer game. What you have to do is simply press next, and just check all the checkboxes which come in the setup. Okay, so once you press this, the download would start automatically. Okay, after that the setup would be downloaded, and then you can install it with simply clicking next. Okay, so I'll just close it for now because we don't need this. Okay, so I have already installed, or you can refer the previous video which I have created specifically for installing VS Code. Okay, so now let's open a folder here. So guys, here itself I'm gonna create a new folder, and I'll just say that MERN underscore TUTORIALS. Okay, so inside this, let's first of all talk about HTML. So I'm gonna simply create a folder, and it's all about HTML. Okay, so here I'm gonna create everything. Here I'm gonna write the code. Okay, so guys, just right click, and now you would see an option for open with VS Code. If you have checked all the checkboxes while installing the setup, okay, after the download, when you are installing the setup, if you have checked all the checkboxes of VS Code, then you would get this option. Okay, else you can reinstall the setup by simply checking all the things if you haven't done the things, or you can refer my video. In that I have taught everything. Okay, so right now you can see this folder is now open in VS Code, and I can simply create a very basic file. So I'll just name my file as, usually you would see your HTML files would be starting with the name index.html, and the extension for HTML file is .html. Okay, so this is a thing. And now if I press shift and 1, that is exclamation sign, if I hit this, so you can see I got this boilerplate. Okay, so this is known as a boilerplate. Similar to this, you have different kind of languages have different boilerplates. This is known as an HTML boilerplate. Okay, but before actually explaining this, what I'm going to show you is just visit a website named as MDN. Okay, so I'm simply going to go to my browser and I'll just type MDN HTML. Okay, so once you type this, you can see this is the top website from Mozilla. So this is a very trusted website by the developers, and if you if you want to continue with web development into other fields also. So this website actually has a lot more guide here. So starting with the HTML, you can learn more about different kind of things. It also has CSS or JavaScript, but right now you can see that we have HTML here. Okay, so if you are stuck somewhere and if you feel that where can I take reference as a document, so you can visit this official website. It has all the latest changes, okay, because in future things might change a little bit. So for all the latest updates, you can always follow this MDN website, right? So let me just close it. You can take reference from here, whatever we are going to learn today. Okay, so now here guys, first of all, we are going to talk about HTML boilerplate. Okay, so what was HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's the standard markup language for creating websites. Okay, so we have different kind of tags here, and you can see a tag usually looks like this. Okay, you can see that this is a starting tag, this is an ending tag. Similarly, this is a starting tag, similarly this is an ending tag. Some tags might not have an ending tag, so you don't get confused. Some tags only have one tag, that means they don't need an ending tag or closing tag. Okay, so now let's understand this one by one. So what is doc type HTML? So it defines that the document, your page is of HTML type. That's it. Okay, that means you're just you're just explaining your web browser, that is your file is of HTML type. That's it. Okay, just interpret this according to HTML norms. Okay, now after this we have the HTML tag. So the HTML tag, actually it's an element, you can call it an element or a tag. So it's the root element of the HTML page. So you would see that if I close this, everything is available inside this HTML tag. That means all the content which you would write would be actually inside the HTML tag, right? So if I remove this, now you would understand. So this is the HTML tag. Inside this you have all the other tags. So if I press Ctrl Z, so you can see inside this I had all the tags. Now let's talk about the head tag. So it contains the meta information about the HTML page. Meta information simply means some important things, like for example, here is the title of your website. So let's suppose my website name is Google. Okay, so just give the title. That means what is the title? So title is actually, if I visit my browser and if I type Google, so you would see that at the top you can see we have a text named as Google. This is the title. Okay, this is the title. So this is the title, and similarly we have viewport. So here I'm simply saying that by default my website must be 1.0 zoomed level. That is, for example, you can see that if I visit here, if I just press Control and scroll above, so you can see it zoomed. So by default, what's there? By default you have 100% zooms, that is 1. This is known as zoom 1. If I make it 200, this means zoom 2. Okay, so if I say 1.0, that means 100%. Okay, so that's what I have said here. So this is usually 100%, and don't make any changes here. Now what is UTF-8? So this is a very confused term, and trust me, you won't be needing this that much. You just need to write it here. But still, let me just explain you what it is. So UTF actually stands for Unicode Transformation Format 8-bit. It's a character encoding standard that represents each character in the Unicode character set with a variable number of 8-bit bytes. It is the most widely used character encoding on the web, and also the default encoding for XML and JSON and HTML pages. So Unicode is standardized character encoding system that aims to represent every character from every writing system in the world. It assigns a Unicode point to each character. For example, there might be a character A. It has some Unicode. Similarly, B has some Unicode. Okay, so that's what we have said. Whatever characters we are gonna write are gonna convert it to the UTF code. Okay, so that's what you need to know, and later on the computer would understand. Okay, just write it this way, right? So after this we have the body. So inside the body you write your HTML code, whatever you want to show, all your elements like text, images, video, form data, table, etc. Okay, so now let's start with the basic elements. So guys, the first element which everyone must know is, first of all, each element, some elements might be self-closing. That means you can see this is the self-closing. Similarly, img tag would be self-closing. Similarly, some kind of elements are self-closing, but usually you would see all the elements or tags usually start with something like this. So this is suppose some tag. Okay, so this is suppose some tag. Okay, just some random example I'm just showing you. This is not an actual tag, and it has a starting tag, it has a starting tag, and it's an ending tag. Okay, that's it. So now come back. Now I'm gonna say that here guys, first of all I would just say that we have a h1 tag. So h1 tag is just for showing a heading, a big heading. So if I write h1 tag and in between I write this, so this means I want to show some heading. So how to view this, how to view this? So for that guys, you can simply go here and you have to search for live server. So live server, and just install this, just install this, it would be installed. And after installing, just wait for a while, just wait for a while, it would be installed, then we can continue. So now you can see we are in this page, and here we actually have an option of go live. Okay, so once you install this, you will have an option of go live. So make sure whatever page you are at, according to that you have to show things. Okay, so if I press on go live, and now automatically in your browser it would open like this. Okay, it would open like this, or you have to type this, or have to type this, but yeah, usually it opens automatically. Okay, so you can see I'm getting the heading, my first heading. Okay, so this is for h1 tag, that means it's a big heading. So similarly guys, we have a few more headings, like you can actually create h2 tags or h3 tag or whatever amount of tags. Okay, so let's explore them one by one. So suppose I want to get some smaller headings, so what I'm gonna say is we have h1 tag, h2 tag, h3 tag, till h6 tag. Okay, so this is the last, after this you can't write h7. So these are all the headings which we have, and if I show you here, you can see it looks like. So now I have splitted the terminal, so now I've splitted the window so it looks better. Okay, so now you can see that the things are visible. Okay, so you can see the biggest heading is legs, second heading is this, third heading is this, and it looks like this. Okay, so I hope you understood what a heading is. Now let's talk about paragraphs. So paragraphs are really good, and suppose if I want to just write a normal text size paragraph, so for that what I can say is I can simply say p tag, and inside this I can simply write my value. Okay, whatever is my text. So you can see this is actually a paragraph, and this looks like a heading. Okay, so that's a paragraph, and you can see a paragraph does not have any stylings. Heading usually are bolder and have different sizes. Okay, so this is a paragraph tag.